Welcome back to the channel. Today we are winterizing a central air conditioning unit. Alright, so truth be told, the easiest way to do this is to not do it at all because really you don't need to. These units are actually weatherproof. They withstand rain all summer and then they withstand winters in most harsh environments. But that said, I'm just going to be covering the top of this because if you look at this next to the side of my house, it is directly below an awning, meaning that all the water runoff from either rain or from snow melting falls directly into this, and I personally don't want that water to freeze in between the cooling fins and expand, thereby causing damage to the fins and making this thing run less efficiently over time. So as for how I'm going to do that, I am just going to take some measurements at the top of this thing, find a scrap piece of plywood from a previous project and put it over the top, then weigh it down with some bricks from my ongoing yard project so that it doesn't blow off over the course of the winter. Having said that, I fully acknowledge that this is not a very aesthetically pleasing solution. However, I cannot really see this AC condenser with where it's located, nor can any of my neighbors because of how my yard is arranged. So while it doesn't bother me and no one else is going to see it from my house, if you need something a little more aesthetically pleasing, there are covers available, but I would be a little bit hesitant to do one of those for one reason only, and that is because of trapped moisture. Because if moisture really gets trapped in this, the two problems you're going to have are number one, moisture freezing between those cooling fins like I said and deforming them over time, or number two, having enough moisture that it starts to rust. And those are both issues that will cause you to have to replace this unit earlier than you would have to otherwise. So while you don't have to cover this up, you definitely shouldn't fully seal it because you're going to create more problems than you're solving. And as for my plywood masterpiece, you'll see that it has a little bit of wobble when I put it on top with these bricks, and the reason for that is the nuts that hold the top cover on protrude a little bit from the rest of that surface, so it's not really sitting evenly. If you really want to, you can drill into your top cover just to have a little pocket for all those to sit into, but for me that really wasn't that important and it wasn't worth the effort. But what I do think is worth the effort is while you're back here, look at the penetration into your house and see if this is an area that you can better insulate. Now I knew this was a cheaper install when I got it done. As a result of that, I wasn't expecting perfection, but you can see that this hole has a lot of extra space which is going to let in cold air. Additionally, it has the opportunity to let in mice, which I would really prefer not be in my house. But there's a very easy solution to both of these problems, and that is buying a can of Great Stuff Big Gap Filler. This is just an expanding foam that we're going to spray into those gaps and it'll conform to anything that's in there and really seal it up as good as possible. You want to shake up the can before applying, you want to make sure the nozzle is open, so you should see a little bit of green here at the end. And if it's a really cold day like it was when I was applying it, you might want to soak it in a warm bucket of water for a few minutes to help get the thing up to temp. That'll make it spray a little bit easier. But after multiple soaks, I could not get this thing to spray, and as it turns out, there is an expiration date for these, and this one had been sitting in my basement for about a year or two. So what I strongly suggest is don't buy the can in anticipation of doing something, only buy it when you know exactly what you're going to be filling, so that way you can do it right away. Fortunately, I did have one of these larger cans on hand from another project that I'll have in the future, and the larger can's attached directly to one of these professional grade foam guns, and if you're interested in getting one of these, I have an affiliate link in the description below. But just like with the smaller can, give these a good shake before using and make sure they're up to temp, so don't leave them sitting outside overnight, and spray a lot less than you think you need in the hole because this stuff expands substantially. You should also definitely do this with clothes you don't care about and gloves on because this stuff does have a tendency to get everywhere, and you'll see as it's over expanding, I'm trying to wipe up a little bit of the excess with the gloves that I have on, but you do not want to get this on your skin. That being said, don't feel like you have to get 100% of the excess before it hardens, because even once this stuff cures, it is ultimately still a foam, so you can chip it away or sand it down as needed. Great Stuff also makes a foam cleaner, so you're going to have to spray that through your gun as well, and that'll prevent any foam from hardening inside of the dispenser, which would prevent you from being able to use this again down the road. And otherwise, this project is fully complete. So hopefully this helped you out. I want to thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.